also, God has done some amazing things. And he is always worthy of worship, and so we're going to worship him today for the good things he's done among us, and we do that through our top 10. We look back over the year and say, what are the top 10 things we could celebrate? Although we could celebrate 20 or 30 things, or even more, but if we were just going to limit it to 10, what would we do? And so here's what we're going to do. We're going to look at the top 10. Hope you'll celebrate with me. Number 10 is a new look in our sanctuary. All right, you know. We got new carpet. We got new chairs. We're not losing people on a weekly basis anymore from those chairs that fall apart. You know, we have to carry people out on stretchers because they're so dangerous. That's cool. But even more than that, we have a fantastic partnership with the church that we rent from here, Parker Evangelical Presbyterian Church. I think it's worthy of celebrating. We've been here for 5 years now, and we have just had a fantastic partnership. We work together well. As a matter of fact, this year, we as a church, if you didn't know this, we have voluntarily raised our own rent this year. 66%. We just said, you know what? Would you let us pay you more rent? You are such a blessing to us. We want to bless you back. We want to raise our rent 66%, to which they said, thank you very much, because our expenses are going up. We didn't want to ask you for a raise in rent, but thank you for offering. We'll take it. And so it's a fantastic partnership, and we are blessed to be here in this location. Number 9, the servant hearts of Newday. This is something to celebrate. I'm told that there are 83 adults and 23 young people, for a total of 106 people, who are serving on a regular basis in the some 200 positions that are needed for Newday just to kind of operate on Sabbath morning. So that's pretty amazing. And that means that some people are serving in one position, some people are serving in 3 positions. And more than that, some are serving at a level that is kind of I would say an insane level. Some people, as you look, they are giving so much time and so much of their best to the church because they believe with all their hearts that the church is the hope of the world. And so I'm here today to say, hey, this is something to celebrate, that the church is the hope of the world and the church deserves your very best. And so as you are serving and as you are giving, I want to say thank you to you because you are giving to an organization, an agency that is an agency of hope on this planet. Your family is not the agency of hope for the planet. You know, your business isn't. Those are all important things. But Jesus said the church would be the hope of the world. And as you give to the church, you are giving to that thing that is going to bring God's kingdom on earth. And I think we're all going to hear, well done, good and faithful servant. And so why not hear it right now, today? Well done, Newday. You're serving well. Number 8, our Easter brunch and service. If you were here for Easter, you know, it was our second time that we had a brunch where we invited our friends to come out and eat with us. We had a brunch. We did some art. You know, we colored this picture with the kids and everything, and we hung it up here, and we had some creativity. We were able to worship Jesus for his divinity and his resurrection. God was glorified. We had our all-time high attendance that day. 257 people were here in worship, and so it was certainly something to celebrate, and we'll be doing that again this next year. So, way to go on our Easter brunch and service. Are you ready for number 7? I've got a little voice left. Our totally free car wash. All right. So not only did we have fun, not only were 80 cars in Parker made more clean, but who would think that you would be able to share Jesus with people at a car wash? But that's exactly what happened. If you were there, you know that we were able to pray with people, and tears were shed, and hearts were touched, and God's kingdom grew through a car wash. Who would have thought it? But we had prayed ahead of time that we would have some divine encounters, and indeed we did. One woman said, I had prayed that God would show me today that he is real. And here I am at this church giving a totally free car wash, not taking any tips or anything. God must be real. I mean, it's like at a car wash. All right, we got to celebrate that. How about that? Number 6, our Rwanda trip. We have had a long-standing relationship with Nyamagabe, Rwanda. We took our 5th trip in this last year in 2012. Another group of people had their lives and their worldviews deeply impacted in Rwanda, but we were able to not only have our lives impacted, but we were able to make a difference there as well. As we met our sponsored kids, that's always amazing. When you go and you sit in the home of your sponsored child, and you see your pictures and your letters hanging there on the wall, that's their most prized possession, and you get to meet the family and hear about how they live every day, it is an amazing thing you will never forget. We were able to take gifts to your sponsored kids, and we had a great time with that. Not only did we take your kids' gifts, but we had a party for 500 people, the families and the sponsored kids of Newday. We fed them, and we made Burger King crowns together, and we painted their faces, and we made artwork, and we played soccer and played with parachutes, and it was a fantastic time. We were also able to deliver much-needed supplies to an orphanage in Rwanda that you had sent to these kids to help take care of these orphans living together at the L'Esperance orphanage. And more than that, because of our relationship with Rwanda, we were able to impact the lives of 4 young people who were born with a club foot and weren't able to go to school, were stigmatized, were going to live their whole lives on the margins of society. But because of your generous donations at last year's Christmas offering, these 4 kids now have straight feet. And we're waiting for pictures on these kids. They're right now in rehab. They're getting back on their feet. But we're going to have pictures of these same 4 kids, these 4 same kids with straight feet, able to walk and run and live the rest of their lives because of your generosity. That's worthy of celebration. All right, number 5, the culture at Newday. I think you don't have to be here long when you start to realize, wow, there's a healthy culture here. That, yeah, we're sinners and we're broken and we have issues, for sure. Get to know us and you'll see them. But for the most part, there is a very healthy culture at Newday. A couple things I'd like to point out. One of the things I love about Newday is Newday is a worshipful community. That we are a community that comes together. It's not a social agency, but we're a worshiping community. We come together to worship every Sabbath. We come with expectations that God is going to show up. We come not wanting to be entertained, not thinking that the people up here are performing, but realizing that we are the performers, and we are performing for God because He is here to receive our worship, that everything we say, everything we sing, when we give, it is all for Him, and we are giving to Him our worship because He deserves it. We are a worshiping community. I love that about Newday. Number 2, I would say we are a welcoming community. We hear time and time again from guests, wow, this is such a friendly church. I feel welcome. I'm getting to know people. People are going out of their way to greet me. They're making me feel comfortable. Very welcoming. So way to go, you, on creating a welcoming environment that takes every one of us to do. Well done. How about this? That we are a safe community. I was sitting at a cafe table a couple weeks ago, and I was listening to one of our newer members actually talking about their observation at Newday, and this lady said, I've been at a lot of churches in my life, and she said, at every other church, I always thought everybody was in the same place spiritually. Because everybody always acts like they're at the same place spiritually, because everybody pretends. And I don't know if that's been your experience or that's whatever, but she said at Newday, what I experienced is that everyone's at a different place spiritually. Because it's safe to be where you are on your spiritual journey. Whether you're just seeking, you haven't made a decision for Christ yet, or you're just brand new on your spiritual journey, or you're farther along, it's safe to be where you are. And I was so blessed by that testimony that would be someone's observation. Because I would hope that would be true. And not only are we safe to be where we are spiritually, but it's also a safe place to invite. And we try to make sure that any given week that you would invite a neighbor or a friend or an out-of-town guest, that this would be a safe place. That they would experience Jesus here, certainly be challenged, but that you wouldn't have any kind of the cringe factor going on. And right now in our year-end survey, we've asked you, how do you feel about the safety of Newday on a scale of 1 to 10? And right now, our average is somewhere over 9 in terms of safety. So you guys are saying you feel pretty safe here at Newday. I think that's worth celebrating. How about number 4? This goes along with the culture at Newday, our spirit of generosity. You guys are just generous people. Has anybody told you that recently? You are generous people. I mean, if you just look at what happened this last year, it's pretty amazing. Let me just give you a couple examples. Our tithe in 2012 went up 10%. A little over $25,000, $275,470 was given to God. That we didn't keep a penny of that here. We gave all that away and sent that on up to Denver, where it's spread around the world for the work of God. Our church budget offering was about $183,831. That's what stays here to help us operate Newday. And that's about even with what our giving was last year, but it's still a surplus of over $10,000 of what we actually had budgeted and spent. So that's pretty cool that you guys are giving even more than we need. But this year, our budget's going up, so we're going to need more than that next year. So don't get too complacent, all right? All right. Anything else we should talk about in terms of generosity?
Yeah, Christmas offering.
Christmas offering. Oh, you want to talk about the Christmas offering? All right, let's talk about the Christmas offering. You know, we believe that Christmas can still change the world. And I think I need new batteries in this thing because it's not working real well. Could I get some help on advancing this? Christmas offering. We believe Christmas can still change the world, and so every Christmas we collect an offering, and we target different things that we want to give all that money away to be able to see lives be changed. Last year we raised just over $20,000, which was amazing. I think a while back when we helped build a hospital in Rwanda, we raised, I think, maybe $22,000. That was our highest ever. Anybody want to know what we raised this year? A couple in the front row are anxious. All right, here we go. What's the number? $37,242.76. What? You guys are generous. Now, that's a lot of money. Just for Christmas offering, we're going to give all that away. Now, 2,000 of that came from our Rwanda group. They gave that from the Rwanda trip left over. So 35,242, that was just Christmas offering. And that was, we have 47 people who gave toward that are recordable. That doesn't count cash gifts. So this is not like one person step in with a huge gift. This is a lot of people working together to say, we want to see Christmas change the world. All right? So you may wonder, what are we going to do with that? Let me tell you. Parker Task Force, shh, don't tell anybody this, okay? I want this to be a secret, okay? Don't tell anybody. We're going to bring the Parker Task Force in. And, you know, a couple years ago, we gave them $10,000. If you were here, you saw the leader of Parker Task Force. Like, $10,000. Well, I think we might give it $10,002 or something. So we might give a little more. So $10,000 is going to go to Parker Task Force. We talked about the International Justice Mission and wanting to do something about human trafficking, particularly in the sex trade. And so we're going to give $5,070 to help give equipment to investigators to pay for a full day of investigation, to pay for a rescue operation, pay for supplies for the ladies once they're rescued, and counseling once they're rescued. But because you gave so much, we were able to double that gift. And now we're giving $10,140 to the International Justice Mission. We are also giving to World Vision. We were going to give $10,000 to World Vision for lights. But now we're going to give $11,200, pay for 700 lights for 700 families, impacting about 3,000 people in Yamagabi so that they'll be able to have light at night, to be able to do their homework and get better grades in school, stay in school, get an education, and improve their lives. That's going to be a direct result of your generosity at Christmas. Now, we were going to stop there. We were going to do 3 projects. But because you guys were so incredibly generous, we said, you know what, we still have money left over. And so why not go back to GHI and say, we want to impact 4 more kids with Clubfoot in Rwanda. So let's do that. So this year we're also going to impact 4 more kids with Clubfoot in Rwanda. So that's awesome. Way to go. You guys are generous. You need to hear that again. Way to go. All right. Where are we? All right. Here. Are we on number 3? Is that where we are? Wow. Okay, now let me just say about number 3. That you guys picked these. All right? So the top 3 are all a result of our urine survey. I did not pick these. You picked these. So if you don't like them, it's your fault. Okay? But these are the things that you said are the top 3 everything at Newday in 2012. You ready? Number 3, our baptisms. Our baptism. We love to see people give their life to Jesus in this age-old, 2,000-year-old ceremony, symbol that Jesus gave us of death and life and resurrection and identification with Jesus. We love to see baptisms. And we baptize people in the mountains. We baptize people in the McTavish pool. We baptize people right here in our service in 2012. And so congratulations, Jackie and Harrison and Matt and Danielle and Laura and Ricky and Brooklyn and Peyton. Welcome to the family of God. All right. Now, like I said, you guys picked these. So number 2. Are you ready for number 2? This was a surprise to me. But you picked it. Number 2 is... The Questions Christians Hope No One Will Ask series. I hear other surprises. But starting in Easter, we did a 7-week Hot Topic series. We invited our friends. We talked about some hot issues like the divinity of Jesus, reliability of the Bible, homosexuality, abortion. We tried to cover it all. So why is there suffering in the world? Okay, you said it was number 2, so I put it up there. All right. Number 1. Are we ready for number 1? Do you have any guesses what number 1 is? Oh, yeah. We'll see if you're right. Number 1. The Christmas store. We invited families to come out and shop for Christmas for their family for free at the hospital. And in the end, about 180 kids shopped for gifts for their family. They picked out around 1,000 gifts for their family. And these are families, it was a means of grace for families in our community. Many of them would not have experienced Christmas otherwise. And so the Christmas store was very much the first service project where we needed like all hands on deck. And so many of you responded. We had about 100 volunteers to make it happen, and we couldn't have done with one less person. I mean, everyone was needed, and everyone served with such excellence. We were able to serve together with volunteers from the Parker Rapids Hospital, which made it even more rich. And so from the greeters to the shoppers to the wrappers to the cookie people, I mean, everybody did a fantastic job. We gave out invitations to our Christmas Eve service at the Christmas store. Many families have visited us since then. We've been glad to welcome them. It served real needs, and so it was a great, great success. We're doing it again next year. We're going to be adding a day so we can serve more people, which will mean we need more volunteers. So put it on your calendar, first week of December, plan to serve at the Christmas store. Way to go. It's been a great year, new day.